Hey, it's NPR's Book of the Day. I'm Andrew Limbong. Growing up in a place like New York City, there are all these historic or iconic or renowned or internationally known spots, right? Be it restaurants or bars or libraries that you kind of take for granted because they're there in your hometown and you can get to them whenever you want. But you know how that goes. Sometimes you just never end up getting to them. Russ Daughters is one of those spots for me. I'd heard about it, but smoked fish wasn't really my thing back then, so I've never been. Thankfully, the people behind the world-famous deli, appetizing store, are out now with the cookbook. NPR's Scott Simon did some shoe leather reporting and went to the store to find out more after the break.
This message comes from LinkedIn ads. One of the hardest parts about B2B marketing is reaching the right audience. That's why you need LinkedIn ads. You can target your buyers by job title, company, role, seniority, and skills. All the professionals you need to reach in one place. Get a $250 credit on your next campaign so you can try it yourself. Just go to linkedin.com/NPRpod. That's linkedin.com/NPRpod. Terms and conditions apply. Only on LinkedIn ads.
It's Saturday morning. Would you like a little nosh? Bagel with lox and schmear, latkes, babka, and rugula? 95. Don't fetch. There's no better place than Russ Daughters, which has been on New York's Lower East Side for 114 years.
So the tour is not that involved, but we can.
You're giving us a tour of a place that is maybe 20 feet long.
Right, exactly.
But bustling with activity.
Exactly.
Josh Russ Tupper is a fourth-generation Russ.
We have a bunch of appetizing in these showcases.
One of two cousins who now own and run the shop that's about the size of a subway car.
On the fish side, as we call it, we have whitefish, chubs, brook trout, sable, sturgeon, and our famous whitefish salad.
Oh, whitefish salad. The sides of glistening fish rest behind a glass that gives them a sultry, jewel-like glow next to tubs of pearly cream cheese.
Russ Daughters, for me, was a literal mom and pop because it was my mom and my pop.
Nikki Russ Fetterman is the cousin who practically grew up at the shop.
And as a kid, I would wait at the doors for the produce delivery guys to come, and they would wheel in with their hand carts. They had sacks, 50-pound sacks of onions, carrots, potatoes, and I would climb on top as if it were my chariot.
Nikki and Josh took over Russ Daughters from Nikki's parents, and they've put together a new book. The reason for our visit today, it is rich with history, musings, and recipes drawn from a family's life in Locks, and more. Matzo ball soup, noodle kugel, smoked trout mousse. It's called Russ Daughters, 100 Years of Appetizing. And why shouldn't we call Russ Daughters a deli?
Because we're not a deli. We're one of the last remaining appetizing stores. Both come from Jewish dietary laws. So delicatessen, in its traditional form, is a place you go for smoked and cured meats. So think pastrami, corned beef, for example. And then the appetizing store is for fish and dairy.
Over a century ago, when Joel Russ founded his business, that fish was herring.
My great-grandfather's older sister was a herring maven, and she sponsored him emigrating to the U.S. So our great-grandfather sold schmaltz herring, which is just cured in salt, from the pushcart.
These days, the real draw at Russ Daughters is
12, 13 different types of cold smoked salmon.
I think that a bagel and lox is one of the literal tastes of New York.
Oh, boy, yes.
This is a beautiful side of Gaspé Nova, the classic Russ Daughters New York-style smoked salmon.
Right. Team of slicers, an official job title, work behind the counter slicing salmon so thin you might be able to read the fine print on a cell phone contract through it. Is there somebody who can show me how to do it?
Do you want to try your hand at this, Scott?
She moved a sharp, slender knife across an opulently orange side of salmon as surely as a New York Philharmonic violinist wields a bow.
Even if you're not good at slicing, Scott, that's a pretty poetic assessment. As you move back and forth, you're continuing to feel the contact between the back of the knife on the flesh. As you move it down, you want to continue to see the blade going through the fish. I'm doing it slowly right now so you can see it.
Wow, that is so
And then-
thin. That's amazing. And then,
Wait.
sorry, I took a turn.
We'll see how you do.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
All right.
So just be very loose if you can. Don't grip too hard the handle of the knife. You can
My
see
technique
we
was more
use special
Freddy
knives.
Krueger than Itzhak Perlman. Oh, this is no good at all.
But it takes a long time.
3 months apprenticeship, says Nikki Russ Fetterman, to learn how to properly slice salmon. The artistry is amazing. What's it do for the taste?
So the thinness of the slice with the proper angle gives you that subtlety of flavor that you just don't
Right.
get with a thick slice or a machine cut slice. It's definitely not the most practical or fast way to do it, but it's the best way.
Can I try it
Beautiful.
one more time?
Yes, absolutely. Once you do, when you get the hang of it,
Yeah.
this is actually quite meditative.
Yeah.
It also gives you a moment to connect with the person you're helping over the counter. So there's
Well, that must be
conversation that
nice.
happens. It's beautiful.
Because they'll say, oh, we have family coming over tonight, or
Or they tell us their story about coming to Russ Daughters, when they were a kid, and now they're bringing their kids. There's always this interaction over the counter that is facilitated by the fact that you have to stand and wait and watch your salmon being sliced, your herring being cut, your cream cheese being spread. Our food especially is the food of memory. And so it's through the food that you connect with others and you connect with who you are and where you come from. It's a time portal. It can transport you immediately to your past and to a memory.
At Russ and Daughters, the past is right outside the front door and around the corner on Orchard Street.
Actually, right here was where our great-grandfather first opened his shop.
Right here?
So
Karaoke bar
first
now.
he was probably on these streets. Before he could open a store, he worked for 7 years as a street vendor.
Today it's home to boutique hotels, galleries, and trendy bars, but when Joel Russ arrived at the turn of the 20th century, this slice of New York teemed with newcomers.
People just packed into these tenement buildings. Really, this neighborhood, the Lower East Side, is probably one of the most historically significant places in the United States because we are an immigrant country and so many immigrants got their start here after arriving at Ellis Island. This was their landing spot.
A few more blocks down Orchard Street, and we arrive at a fairly new addition to the family biz.
We found the latkes.
You're about to make latkes? A decade ago, Nikki Russ Fetterman and Josh Russ Tupper opened Russ and Daughters Cafe, a place to sit to nosh. And that's where we sat down over a plate of crispy latkes to talk about that history.
It's our understanding that Russ and Daughters is the first business in this country to have "and daughters" in its name. It wasn't the original name. One of the first names was Russ's Cut Rate Appetizing, because our great-grandfather had to, compete with the many other appetizing stores on the Lower East Side. If there had been a son, it probably would have been Russ and Sons, but...
Then he had 3 daughters, and as we've been told, he wasn't the most pleasant of shopkeepers. What did he like to say? Lose the address?
So he would say, "Lady, do me a favor, forget the address,"
Forget the address.
if he didn't like you. At some point, he needed help, so he looked to his family, and his daughters came to work at a very young age.
Your father would tell the story of our great Aunt Hattie was so good at cutting the fish and be like, "Oh, this fish is so beautiful, it's wonderful." And she was very charismatic and really good, and the customers would get into it. And then your father one day tried to do that to a customer. He's like, "Oh, look at the slices on this fish." And the customer's like, "Do me a favor, don't fall in love with the merchandise." Didn't work at all.
Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a lifelong customer of ours.
Oh.
As a child, she would come and visit her grandparents. And she gave an interview where she said that growing up, seeing the name Russ and Daughters taught her that before she knew the word feminist, she learned that women could matter in an enterprise the same as men can.
Forgive me, before I ask my next question, I just have to have a little,
Come get a latke. So there's sour cream and applesauce is one classic combination, and then salmon roe and creme fraiche.
Are you having this?
How's that voice me now?
I mean, warm and potatoey on the inside, and then the hint of onion. God, this is good. Sorry. Oh, forgive me. I've never done an interview quite so.
Delicious.
If somebody comes up to you and says, "What should I have here?" What do you say?
We created this restaurant to have the sit-down appetizing experience. So really, the way you should eat this is 4+ people. Get your platter of smoked fish, order from the whole menu.
It was a little mashugana, that's the Yiddish word to say crazy, of us to think that we could open a restaurant because neither Josh nor I had any restaurant experience. But we did know our store and we knew our food. And sometimes we would argue over things. Does matzo brie go on the menu? Does it not go on the menu?
Is it on the menu?
No.
Well, it was.
Oh, what happened?
Turns out that the simplest dish is the hardest.
The most challenging.
The matzo
Every
brie was the
time-
bane of our existence.
Yeah.
How simple?
Every person that ordered matzo brie had a memory.
Oh, of a matzo brie at home.
Their matzo
Right,
brie,
of
their
course,
grandmother's matzo brie, their mother's matzo brie, and they're all different. Sweet, savory,
Wet, dry.
soggy matzo,
Peppery.
dry matzo. Right. Basically, everyone who ordered was unhappy.
Because we could never match their taste memory. Now you have to know to ask for matzo brie. So
can
we'll make it
still
for
order
you, but you got to work a little
Really?
hard.
Don't tell anyone else.
Okay, no. Well, it'll stay between us. Don't you worry. I mean, you must be aware of the fact that, well, there are people undoubtedly who will wander in casually, but to a lot of people who come here and whose families have come here, I mean, let me put it this way. Russ and Daughters is not just another place to eat.
No, it's almost a pilgrimage site. A lot of people can trace their family histories and beginnings back to this neighborhood. Every day we're reminded of why this place and this food matters. And I realized also that we have fewer and fewer small businesses, these sort of touchstones in our communities that in a real way connect us to our past and anchor us in the neighborhoods we live in. And Russ and Daughters is that place for so many people. And so it's hard work, but it's a real joy to be able to be a steward of keeping this going.
Not to put too much pressure on our kids, we both hope that a fifth generation that's why we're doing this. We're holding the torch to pass on to the next generation.
Josh Russ Tupper and Nikki Russ Fetterman. Their new cookbook is Russ and Daughters, 100 Years of Appetizing, and to sample their matzo brie recipe. That's matzah soaked in water, mixed with eggs and fried. You can go to npr.org.
This message comes from Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy. Having a health issue that requires medication can be stressful. Are the meds going to get refilled on time? Do I need to renew my prescription? Do I need an appointment to get them renewed? Amazon One Medical has 24/7 virtual care, and Amazon Pharmacy delivers meds to you fast, anxiety-free. With Amazon, healthcare just got less painful. This message comes from Mint Mobile. This holiday season, stop overpaying for wireless and switch to Mint. Shop 50% off unlimited plans at mintmobile.com/switch. Limited time offer. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Above 35 gigabytes, network may slow when busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.